What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Runick's White Joe here, back with another Runick variant and with the newly released White Forest. So I'm so excited to showcase this deck. This deck is actually really interesting to play. It's basically Bestial Runick in a unique way. It goes away from being Runick though and more of a Whitewood deck, but you know, it's still a Runick deck because you're playing Runick. So I am very happy to share these ratios and this engine with you. I've cut out the non-engine or hand traps because it's on your own discretion how you want to add it. I will show the full deck, but I want to start off by explaining the ratios of the Whitewoods. Now, I've been talking to a lot of people about how to build a deck, and as of now, this is the best way, in my opinion, in terms of getting into your Synchro 10s, your boss monster, interrupting your opponent, and either swinging for game or locking them down and decking them out. With the first card, I run a Stellar of the White Forest. Now, a lot of people have been telling me to not play this card, but recently in the Decays Meta Weekly, they topped and they played this. And specifically for Runick White Forest, they say not to use this because of it's a weak card in terms of what it can do. But the thing is, it's an extender, and asking people why they don't use it, I just see you should be using it only because there's too many tuners, and secondly, because of all the Runick cards that were limited and semi-limited, you need bodies that, you know, not enough Hugins can do. Now, with its effect, it can essentially be a starter as well. You know, you have to have spells in a combo. A lot of this deck is a 2-card combo. So you send this card send a spell or trap to the grave and special summon a Whitewood, and you could start off your engine. I will show you in the first replay typically how the engine works in terms of getting to your end board, ideally. But yeah, we run a Stellar. We then run 3 Izzet. Now, Izzet is basically your true main starter. How this card works is send a spell or trap, special summon this card, and add one White Forest monster. You'll typically add the next card that I'll showcase. And with this starter, you want to synchro it right away practically, and it's pretty cool. It'll recurs itself too during your opponent's turn. If a light caster special summon, you can add this card if this is in your graveyard. Next, the second best starter is Sylvie. Sylvie, when this card's normal or special summon, you could add a spell or trap. Typically, you're gonna add the 3 spells and traps that I added to this deck. It's typically 2, but I'm playing around with the ratios. So, this is basically your starter to just add more and extend. After that, we play 3 Rushias. Rushias is the 6 Samurai Kizan, or the special summon extender of the deck once you go into your Synchro 6. So this card states that while you control a White Forest monster, you can special summon this card. And what's cool too, sometimes you could get a free draw and gain +1 with it. You basically have to drop a spell or trap, but little do you know, all the Runick or White Forest cards, when this card is sent to the graveyard by a monster effect, you can set it. So you're not really losing much, especially if it's the spell card. So yeah. The next thing I run is, I'm running one of each copy of the spell and trap. So this is Tales of the White Forest. You just really only need one, and it's basically your searcher for any other White Forest monster in your deck to hand. And again, if this card is sent to the grave, you can set it. The other card I'm playing around with that not many people are playing around with is Scrooge of the White Forest. The reason I'm playing it is because when you start turn 1, it could you can easily gain a lot of advantage, because when you tribute your Synchro monster, target one face-up card on the field and negate it. And if it's if you tributed a synchro, you'd bring it back, the monster or the white forest that you tributed. So it's essentially free, but if you don't want to play this, you could play a hand trap. That's why I left it up to you guys, just because again, I just wanted to mess around with this card. It could potentially be a dead card, but at the same time, you need some cards to discard, so you gotta play the spells that you can. Next, the MVP of the deck, Woes of the White Forest. What this card does: special summon one white forest monster from your deck or hand, then immediately after this effect resolves, you could synchro summon. It's your typically you're gonna synchro summon into this card, Silvera. When this card synchro summon, it's a Book of Eclipse. You can change all face-up monsters your opponent controls to face-down defense, just to interrupt them so they can't synchro, link summon, XYZ summon. Yes, so that's basically the main deck for White Forest. Now getting to the Runick engine, it's very typical. Again, you play what you can of the 3 ofs, 2 ofs, but everyone plays this differently. So you can either have one Smiting Storm, a few Golden Droplets, or Dispelling, however fits your budget or your deck. So that's the Runick engine. Now, for hand traps, this is going to be the true deck. So this is currently what I'm playing, and these are the hand traps. So I play 3 maxis because, again, it is a best of 1. You could literally end turns just because you don't want to give card advantage. So that's strong. I played 3 Ash Blossoms. Ash Blossoms are really strong, countering maxi and other things. In addition to that, to counter hand traps, I play Call by the Grave. I just feel like these 3 hand traps are a must that you have to always be playing. And then I also play 2 Imperms. So with Imperm, I wanted to opt to try to playing this just because of interruptions on turn 1. You could mess around again with the ratios. You could play Talons. You could play whatever you feel works for you. Again, this is what I prefer at this moment. For the extra deck now, we're running 3 Hugins because Hugin, you synchro fodder these a lot. So you could synchro fodder up to 2. So the third one's going to be for protection. I play also 2 Gary instead of the Sleipnir because Gary helps you synchro climb. You can easily synchro climb to 10 because of this. You have a lot of level 6 tuners in this deck. I play 1 Formula Synchron. This is an amazing card that you can actually get into. One of the replays will show its end board and how you use Formula Synchron. Typically, you're going to use Formula Synchron with the effect of the Diabell. When your opponent activates a effect or a card effect, send 1 spell or trap, and then special summon a level 7 or lower tuner synchro. And you're gonna summon this. This is basically your IP Masquerena in this deck, so that's pretty cool. You even get a draw too, so it's pretty good. The other levels, now we're gonna get to level 6 with synchros. So I play 1 Coral Dragon for the draw with Tri-Edge Master as well. The 1 Silvera, this is your Book of Eclipse. You're gonna use this with the Woes of the White Forest. Ricella, which is your searcher for any other White Forest cards that you need. And the boss monster that will recycle cards, Diabell, Queen of the White Forest. If this card synchro summon, you can use it using a tuner. You can target 1 spell or trap in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So that's how you're gonna recycle things. And what's amazing about this card, you play Skill Drain in this deck. That's right. As crazy as that sounds, you can actually play Skill Drain and without the effects of Skill Draining yourself. Now, if you didn't know, a lot of White Forest cards has this effect that sending a spell or trap from your hand or field and doing an effect. So Diabell has it, Rusia has it. So, well, that's on your turn though. But the point is, yeah, you can send a speller trap and draw one card. If this card is negated on the field though, it's by cost. That's why you don't feel the residual effect of skill drain on your turn, because again, you can easily throw it away by using either an effect of Rusia. That's why you play 3, or on your opponent's turn, or if for whatever reason you need to get rid of skill drain, you can easily get rid of it because of Diabell. So our boss monsters of the deck, these are your rank Synchro 10s, Baron, Swords, Qingying, and Chaos Angel. You can easily go into these and protect your Synchros. A lot of Synchros in this deck. And lastly, SP Little Knight. The extra deck is very tight. You're definitely Synchro climbing a lot. I've seen a lot of tech cards that you could play. I've even seen Mud Dragon with Dragoon. I am playing around with the ratios, but I went on a 5-game win streak in rank with this in Diamond. So I'm pretty comfortable with the ratios so far. Again, you could mess around with it. If you don't like Scrooge, you could play, for example, Summon Limit or a Hand Trap. But this is the deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed this profile. I really like this deck. It's really interesting. I hope it stays in the meta. I hope it does not hit the best deck in the game, because if it does, it's gonna get hit. Let's stay in the Goldilocks, guys. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed these replays. Here's a commentary of how to do your initial plays and what end board you're gonna end in. Remember though, you're typically going to end with Diabell on the field, a Synchro 10, one of these 3, and set Woes. So you're going to have a lot of interruption. That's not even including the hand traps you have in your hand, the Runicks in your hand as well. So thank you guys so much for listening. Here are the replays. Runick YGOs is out. Okay guys, so for the first replay, I played against a random person in a duel room, to be honest. I wanted to play the deck and just see how it went before I took it to rank. The rest is going to be all ranks. I went on a 4-game win streak for this video, and I wanted to show this in particular just because I wanted to show how a normal combo would typically go. I wanted to keep that phrase keep that phrase in mind, that all roads lead to Rome, because basically all the combos are going to be somewhat similar with the same end board, just different way to get to it. But the thing is, with this example, I just want to show full combo. So let's go. So first thing I do, this is your starter. You want to just discard something, a spell or trap. Special, and you get to summon Sylvie. Sylvie is probably, these two are the most important cards to grab, just because when you normal them, they're just full combo. The rest is kind of extenders or just synchro fodder. When you normal summon this card, you can add a spell or trap of White Forest. I summon Hugin here to discard. I just discard a Stellar. I synchro into 6 Rosella to discard Tales of the White Forest. When I do that, I could bring it back. In addition to that, this is my extender. If a trap or spell card is sent to the graveyard, while this card is in your graveyard, you could special summon it. I also have my extender here with Rusia, so this was like full combo. Effect, discard that, and I bring that back, and now I have double Rusia. Synchro into our boss monster Diabell, bring back my freezing curses that I discarded initially, go into Tri-Edge, draw one, and go into Baron. I do bring that back and have this negated. So in this end board, ideally it's always going to end on Diabell and a rank 10 plus Woes set to Book of Eclipse your opponent. So look at how crazy this hand was, or example, with how much negate I have. I have an Omni negate. I have a Book of Eclipse to set everything face down. I have a negate on the field. And I have a way to get to a Synchro 10 with Diabell. Not including Ash Blossom and Freezing Curses. That's 6 interruptions here. So that's why I really wanted to show this example. Even though I was just playing with this example of this person, I just want to at least show how the deck worked. At least how I had all these interruptions. Now, what happens next is not that important, but the point is, this is how a combo typically will go if nothing gets interrupted. Obviously, it's going to get interrupted. So, I just want to go to the next video now, just because I just want to show the example of this. The rest, I'm going to either speed up, so hope you enjoy.